My Best Days. This was a song written in last year. Originally planned for JoJo's album for Dead Inside, and this was um, this was a really good attempt to actually get this song out finally, and it took just over a year to get this recorded and done. And this idea came from a song from Takara, and it was called I think the song was called uh, Passion of the Heart, where it came from. And so I remember listening to that song, and but in no way at all to attempt the recreation of that song, obviously, but to do like this song, which would have worked out well for what I did. So this took about the very beginning. I think this was the very first song I think I approached her with, and this is the version that was straightforward without the guitars in it, obviously, that we did. So first of all, I finally got back my Beast keyboard that had just been damaged, and I had to rebuy this because this was a replacement one before we had the old one in. And I had a very old crappy keyboard that was absolutely terrible, and it was just really shit. So I looked around on Gumtree a few days ago, and luckily I had the Beast back, and the Beast came, and it was just like, wow. So this is the first song I actually did with presenting it to JoJo first, written in a couple of days. Preferably, it was about finding certain things that would happen, and like you could just put the past behind you and keep like the forwardness of how you can keep it out and stuff. So I started originally writing it with the keyboard first, which was this riff. Let's just put it like on so I started originally with a riff like this. This was actually live as well. Freddie Mercury-esque to that as well, Queen sort of vibe to it. Probably some drums in that as well, which is kind of repeating the same thing again, just because it was easy to do without repeating the same chords again as before. So that was the whole idea for the keyboard part. And then we had I had just discovered a new program that came out on Chrome, and that was called Drumbit, and it was an amazing tool to use. And it's the guy who designed it for Google. He did an amazing job of it, because it was so perfect. When we were trying to find the drum pattern for it, I was thinking, do you know what, we need drums in it badly to do. And this was the first song that I did with drums in it at all, without doing the prior songs like Typical Me and all the other stuff we did. And so this was kind of the result that we had, and we came up with the drums that we used in it were just absolutely spot on. You would not believe that was actually her playing it, because she's a drummer. Just that perfect sort of niche to it, it's just perfect. Then we just went like perfect, just all the way through with fills and stuff in it. Go back in the track. And bass box out there. Just added later for it. Porter bass, which is very unusual. And that was actually the first three things we had: drums, bass, and also just the main drums as well. And that was the extra parts in later. We wanted that 80s kind of feel to it and stuff. You know, have the sort of 80s bridge to it. So I added a synth part to it, which is track 3, and this is what I added to the mix as well. And I just felt it needed that extra thing to it, and I thought it was really good to have that. So then, after all that was done, when you put all together with the mix itself, the bass. The other thing that I added was I wanted to put on guitars as well. Guitars were added later, and Mac did these amazing guitars. He first of all did the rhythm guitars first that he did, and we wanted that approach to do it and stuff. So we actually decided at that point that he would just record it in one. He track it like twice. So we tracked like the left version of it first. That was the first thing that he did. And then this one was done as the main rhythm guitar. And he copied this same identical thing like the way he actually played it again. And that's how we doubled it up with the sound of it as well. And then we put it with all the tracks.
When I heard someone's advice,
it sounds a bit weird, but then again it was sort of as it is in your way. So after all this was done, then we added the vocals at the end. And in fact, we wanted Jade to do the vocals as well on the song. And the vocalist that I got was a great vocalist called Alex Summer. And she was the last person who we really wanted to get this out, and she did a great vocal on this. She actually did the whole vocals herself, and we double tracked a couple of things, and we just did a couple of ones throughout it and stuff. So this is Alex, who originally sang.
Take me back to yesterday when I was making my own way.
You can hear obviously
Trouble came around the door.
Well.
I was fighting through the thick of it all, but then I found someone who got out of this mess and into you. You took me away to paradise, and then I heard someone's advice. My best days are still ahead of me, running wild, running free. There's no
Jade did her vocals later, but when you blend it in
in
together
the
with the track,
clouds. All too long the pain in me, falling down, falling free. All too long, it's all so true. I'm always thinking of you.
I thought she did a good job of that as well. I thought that was just perfect what we did. Later on, we kept the basic same arrangement all the way through, and then on the very middle of it, we wanted something else that would have made it more feel like a melody kind of thing for it. So I remember when I was on the keyboard, I remember I had this idea that I thought, ooh, I'll add these things in. So this is what I added to the mix of it. And it was me playing like sort of like a starry kind of thing. And then also we added the piano part to it as well on this beginning. I felt like it was missing something, and I thought, you know what, it needs a guitar part in it. So we just added the bridge melody for it, and Mac just came up with this great idea that we had. We just basically were in the studio one day. We were all like thinking about ideas for how the melody was going to work, and I remember my head was going like da 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 da, and he replicated it onto the guitar, and he came up with this fantastic melody that just worked out really well for it. That was just spot on. And you didn't want to do the end. I didn't want to put like the do do do. I just wanted to do it like very straightforward and how it was done. And then I thought for a solo part of it, I'll let Mac just do his own solo for it. This was the third solo he did. It was the first solo that he did was really good, but this one sounded to me like it was kind of like the Brian May sort of thing connection, and I wanted that Brian May sound. And so I remember saying to him, if you can try and think of the Brian May connection thing, and I thought, yeah, that might work for what we did. And he just came out of the blue. He worked on this solo part, which was do 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 do. We're trying ages to try and get the solo right. And then basically he said, I know what I'll do. I know what I'll do. Let's try it. Let's just do something that I can do on the fly, and I'll do it in the thing of it. So he goes in the studio. He basically presses record, and this is what he came up with. There's actually a part here on this that we did for the older version. It was on the track that if I think it was just the alternate version. This is actually the alternate version that we issued with this part on it. To make it sound more like that way. It wouldn't work with the track obviously for how it sounds now. If we did the alternate version of it, we had to take that part off obviously for what it was worked on. But that was just an idea that we had in mind to take off most of the rhythm guitars, and then we thought, you know what, we might as well just stick on the alternate version of it, and that's how we did it really nice. And I was interested in how the way that the second part of the song, my guide vocal that I did originally for this, we changed the lyrics in some of this song. One part had to come out that we had to rewrite because at the time this was getting recorded. I had to rewrite a completely new version of it. So we had a version that we really stuck to. So when I said to Alex, we can't use that part obviously for the song, we just decided on the spur of the moment I would rewrite it, and the version that's on the album version of this was just something that I had to write because it was kind of like just to a point. So when I sent it back to her, to Jojo, I said, listen to this part we've just done, and it sounds amazing. She listened to the part and she said, that is really good. So this is the version that is actually on the album.
Keep me safe from all the pain. I've tried to work it out some way. I don't wanna fight anymore. There's such a lot I got in store. I'm feeling bad for what I said. It just got stuck up in my head. But then you said something to me to forget it all, and I'm happy to be.
That's the version that we just did with that stuff as well. But all in all, if you just mute off the vocals, I just love playing the main track itself because it's just so brilliant, and it just sounds to me still one of the most greatest songs I think I've ever done. My production's kind of just really spot on as it is. But when you hear the JoJo version, it sounds more kind of as it is. It's so nice to this part as well. End off that as well. There's a little bit of feedback on the actual actual guitars because Mac was using he used his input version instead of the USB version, but very proud of that.